That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What you talking about?
Hey everyone, welcome into the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 168. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleman Gaming, Turn-Based Carl, and Leah the Hatless. So, guys, do you remember back in the 1990s, there was this upheaval when it came to video games and especially when Nintendo and Sega were battling each other. And in the early 90s, there were Senate hearings that were created to discuss the violence in video games and regulations that were proposed and all. And Senator Joe Lieberman was the main, of course, senator behind this, along with Herb Kohl. But Senator Lieberman passed away this last week, and I was just thinking about, when he passed and when they were talking about him on the news, I was thinking about the Senate hearings back in the early '90s for this, which basically was the foundation of the ESA, and also the software ratings board came from these hearings and all. So Senator Lieberman passed away, but I was thinking about that. Carl, I'm sure you remember those days. Burley, you were still like a twinkle in your parents' eye, but
well, I know of
Leah,
this stuff because I've seen documentaries on it.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to politics in the 90s. So it was definitely too young for that.
Yeah.
But I do remember, Lieberman, of course. Yeah, I've heard this story.
Yeah.
I mean, I was between 3 and maybe 6 years old, so I think it will be a bit difficult. But yes, I do kind of like Burley, know the story from documentaries and things like that. So sad he passed away. You know.
Of course. Yeah, but just thinking about that time. I mean, back when you still had the pixelated games and all, and you had like Sega was starting to make games that had like lots of graphic situations in them. Of course, the fighting games and all. And Nintendo was trying to play it down. They were like the family friendly console and all, and just going back and forth in these Senate hearings and all. I mean, it was pretty interesting back then. I mean, now, just imagine if stuff like that was going on now. I mean, with the way video games are today. But that was the beginning of it all back then. So,
Always looking for a new boogeyman, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rock music, video games. Dungeons and Dragons was the devil worship. At some point. It's all nonsense.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome on into the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, where we, of course, we record live here on YouTube, 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and out here in Japan at 6 a.m. on Sunday. So anyway, thank you for all showing up today. So we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking in our topic of the show about Stellar Blade. So Burley and I have played the demo. So we're going to be talking about Stellar Blade.
I may be watching some footage right now. Who knows?
Yeah, you might be, which we can't tell. But anyway,
Just trying to catch up,
Yeah. And of course, a lot of the news that came out this past week. It's been kind of a quiet news week, kind of, but So we're going to be talking about the news that came out this week as well. But now let's go ahead and talk about the games that we have been playing or streaming. So this past week, of course, I played the demo for Stellar Blade, and we're going to be talking about that during the topic of the show. But Leah, we'll start with you too. What game have you been playing or streaming this past week?
I mean, I've been prolific because we had a sales on the Nintendo Wii shop, and I just went in and bought 3 games. And the ones that I ended up playing was Inscription, which is a mix of cards game where your deck is randomized and you play the hand as it was given. But there's also an element of mystery because you as a character, you can get up and move around, and there are puzzles and things to unlock. And every time you die, there are some things that carry over. So there's a lingering mystery to help a bit because once you die and the deck is gone, you start over from scratch. So really interesting. The publisher is Devolver. So those games tend to be really good. And the other one that I played is a bit more relaxed is The Last Campfire. So it's an adventure puzzle game similar to Journey and Pathless.
Oh, nice.
So you play as Ember, which is this little character, and your goal is to help others regain their spirits because they have been turned into stone, and you have to kind of help them all to pass to the next stage. So it's almost like they're in limbo and they want to move on. It's a really beautiful game, really funny. So if you guys want to try any of those, enjoy the promotion. They're on sale.
Cool. Awesome. Carl, what have you been playing, streaming this week? I know you don't stream, but what were you playing?
Yeah, Unicorn Overlord, of course, more of that. Didn't have, I mean, I don't think I put a lot of time into it, so I don't have too much more to say. Still loving it, of course, moving along with that. I did get some time to watch some stuff, so I've watched 3 episodes of Halo season 2.
Nice.
And I'm really enjoying it. I maintain that this is a very good sci-fi show. Like if you want like a very much like something that you'd watch on like the Sci-Fi Channel, not like that quality, that like better quality than that. With better, I would say better acting in general, but just something like kind of weird and kind of out there. In the science fiction setting, then this show should be for you. I do get like it doesn't feel like Halo in that there's not a lot of action all the time. Like there's action beats, but like again, there's a lot of story. They're telling you a story, and I think the story is interesting. I like the characters. I want to know what's going to happen. Master Chief doesn't quite act like Master Chief that you know, which I think again that's why people maybe have. If you're like really, really hardcore into the lore of Halo, this is different, right?
Yes.
But, if you're not and you like sci-fi and you think Halo stuff looks cool, well, I mean, this show should be for you because like when they do the action, it's awesome. I love every action moment in the show is awesome.
Oh yes, and
it's but again, you're not going to get it all the time.
No.
So,
well, check out my recap and review episodes of Halo Season 2 that are up here on the Arena Productions. Yeah, I mean and we've gotten a lot of comments from the traditional like Halo fans of the games that just are not into the series adaptation, and how they've changed Master Chief and where he doesn't wear a helmet a lot of the time. But I mean, I applaud them for doing something different. And like you said, it's a science fiction series, and it's the action is amazing in it. So please check out my recap and reviews, and check out the series if you haven't seen it yet. So it's really pretty interesting, and season 3 will probably be pretty interesting too. So as you get farther on in the series, Carl, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about it. So. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's I don't know what's going to happen, and largely because I mean it's different, but also because this is pre-Halo 1, and I have absolutely no knowledge of what happened before Halo 1 because I don't really care about the lore
Yeah.
of Halo beyond just what I played in the games, which I enjoyed.
Mhm.
So I'm totally fine with what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
And it's definitely better than season 1, like because it doesn't have
Yeah.
that side
agree.
story with Quan, right? That was like really bad. She's in it, but her role in this is actually fine. Like it's good. I don't mind what they're doing with her.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh great, here's the B story and I hate it. Like moments. Like it's all sort of like seems like it's gonna come together. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, once you finish the season, let me know your thoughts. So
For sure.
Looking forward to hearing from you on that. So Burley, besides Stellar Blade, what have you been playing or streaming?
What's streaming? First of all,
Gratuitous Blade.
Oh, I got stuff on Stellar Blade. Don't you worry. I've been playing Dragon's Dogma 2. I am working my way. I'm hoping in the next couple of days to get the review. I've been scripting and I've got some humorous little jokes for that review. I hope everyone enjoys. I've been enjoying Dragon's Dogma 2, but I've also been doing FF7 Rebirth. I'm getting nearish to the end. I'm on chapter 10 out of 14. So I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the weekly news beat. So, of course, here on the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, we talk about some of the biggest news stories in the world of video games and game development each and every week. So, first up, Phil Spencer opening his mouth again. And it's interesting how some people say that maybe Phil just shouldn't open his mouth because every time he opens his mouth and says something, it just gets all over and distorted on the internet and all. And so maybe he just shouldn't talk. But he talked again. And he's talking about digital storefronts now. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So basically, he's talking about, for example, like when it comes to like putting digital storefronts on Microsoft, for example, like the Epic Game Store, having that on consoles, like on the Xbox. He would like to see that come about. So I'll start with you on this, Carl. I mean, do you think we'll get other digital storefronts on consoles anytime soon?
Man, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon because I don't really understand how that's gonna work. A lot of people are like, "Oh wow, it'd be amazing if you had like Steam on there," which wasn't mentioned in this, right? It was Epic and it was something else, but that's the one that would matter because you would bring this big library. But then it's like, well, how is that gonna run? Because these games aren't Xbox games; these are PC games, right? So,
yeah,
what is that storefront then? I don't really understand. Like, is it somehow going to run all of the games on Steam? And then how does that create a problem then? Because now if everybody's like, all right, well, I'll just buy from Steam, or worse, actually, the case is, what if developers are like, well, I'll just make the Steam version, and then that'll work on Xbox, so I don't have to make an Xbox native version of my games anymore. Then they're just going to perform worse because they're not native, optimized for the platform. So I don't know. There would have to be some sort of agreement, right, to get a cut of sales purchased through the Xbox. Like if you're on those stores and you're buying stuff. So I don't really know what I feel like he's just kind of saying like we could see that being a thing at some point, but I just don't really know how that works.
Leah, do you think we could see like the Epic Game Store or anything like that on the Switch?
I mean, I'm really confusing. It's just because at first I thought, oh, maybe he wants to be like a competition for Steam and Epic and kind of be mingle among them. I don't know, because that's what I got from the news, is that he kind of want to be similar to that. It could be a strategy for Xbox,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure. It's really confusing. I'm kind of gonna wait and see what happens. Really.
Yeah, yeah. Burley, what about PlayStation? Do you think we'll ever get anything like that on PlayStation?
No, no. I think a snowball. You ain't getting that on PlayStation, and it's honestly, it just seems to me like Phil is just spitballing ideas out. I mean, like, yeah, we'll have other game stores on there. Really? Yeah, I guess. Because like there'd be so much interesting moving parts because like if you put on Epic or Steam, whatever on you, and you got to go through the technical of getting those versions on there. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to go buy the Steam, go on there on the Steam store or Epic store on there, I doubt they're going to be the same price if I go on the web on my computer and buy them there because Microsoft's going to want a cut of those sales, or else there's no point in having the storefront on your platform. So they'd have to up the prices, and if they up the prices, everyone's going to be like, "I'll just go buy it on the web version on Steam there and have it on my Xbox and on my computer or Steam Deck or whatever other device."
Yeah.
I do wonder if somehow, I mean, maybe there are commonalities that would work. So, like, if you made a Steam version, you could then make an optimized Xbox version, and then it uses like the Steam, I guess, like, I don't know, achievements, right? And the Steam, friends lists and that type of stuff. And maybe that's like he says, he wants people to be able to choose, right? Like you do on PC, right? You go on PC, I can choose to use Steam, whether you went to the Epic store or, Xbox's storefront on Windows as well. But the problem is that most people don't, right? Everybody just picks Steam. So I don't know. Maybe it's a future he's talking about or thinking of, like one day, yeah, because console might not be what it is today. Xbox console could one day just be a specialized PC, right? That you can use any storefront on.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that how he mentioned consoles are kind of outdated or problematic, and how he also mentioned like portable consoles. So is Xbox kind of planning on making a switch, sort of? Is that how they see the future, to maybe like compete in a market like Japan, for example? I
Well,
don't
there's a
know.
lot
That
of
part
rumors.
was strange.
There's a lot of rumors out there of an Xbox handheld in development. It would probably be a hybrid device, but the thing is, like, and this has been said other places, that if it would need to be Xbox, right? It wouldn't, because if it was PC, all the licenses that they have for those games in the storefront wouldn't apply to PC, right? They apply to Xbox, right? So if you want to have all that Xbox One backwards compatibility and whatever you get from 360 and original Xbox, it has to be Xbox, like storefront and OS, right? To get that.
I see. But now he's more open, so maybe it's more a Steam Deck and not a Nintendo Switch, where you have the Xbox, but you also have the ability to have Steam and Epic Store and kind of.
Yeah, that
No?
sounds like something, that could be a future one day. I just think, because that's the way they've been talking about Microsoft, is that they're looking at what could be, right, in the future, and not necessarily what is right now. Because as he says, and it is not him, he's the only one saying it, that the console market isn't growing at the rate of these other markets. And of course, they always want growth, right? So like console growth is really low. So if you're trying to expand, if you're Microsoft and you bought Activision Blizzard King, and you want to have that investment build and grow your platform, well, console isn't a place where there's a lot of growth. So you can see that it's like, well, there's other options out there, right? So maybe there is hybrid, maybe there's multiple things, right? Maybe there's an Xbox branded PC as well as an Xbox console still.
Maybe there's mobile.
Well, they lost mobile
because
right?
that's
that's
where the market is. I mean, the future of gaming. It's going to be mobile. I mean, that's where everything's going. So
Yeah.
I mean, they can make a cell phone Xbox. I mean, Microsoft has like self-brand cell phones, so why not an Xbox like version of a phone?
Instead of Windows Phone, it's Xbox Phone.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's too late for that.
yeah. I don't
Never
know.
know.
I don't know.
Into that market.
They killed themselves in the mobile market with their own devices, and they bought out what was it, Nokia? They bought them out and they killed them.
Well, they tried, but like it was too late. They were never gonna. You couldn't beat Apple or Android at that point. It was over. So
Yeah.
if they stuck around today, where would they be? Probably, distant third.
They'd be like BlackBerry, where they have 0.0001% of the market.
Yeah. Well, BlackBerry died, right? But BlackBerry has like an Android phone.
They've had a couple Android phones, and they've more just been, hey, we're supporting both Android and iOS.
Yeah, because there just isn't room in the market for another thing, and that's the thing with console. Like, it's difficult. Is there room in the market for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch? I mean, I don't know at this point, right? They juggle around users over the generations, and now Xbox sort of lagged behind now twice. Switch Nintendo was like horribly behind with the Wii U, and then the Switch took over. So,
yeah. All right. So next up, let's go ahead and talk about Take-Two Interactive. So, and Gearbox is coming. Gearbox, and of course, the Borderlands series, the Borderlands movie is coming soon. But Gearbox is being bought by Take-Two. So let's talk about that a little bit. So I'll go ahead and read a little bit from Gaming Bolt over here. So let me go ahead and get that. So after months of rumors, the Embracer Group has confirmed an agreement to sell parts of Gearbox Entertainment to Take-Two Interactive for $460 million. The divested assets include Gearbox Software, Gearbox Montreal, Gearbox Studio Quebec, and franchises like Borderlands, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Homeworld, Risk of Rain, Duke Nukem, and Brothers in Arms. Embracer CEO and co-founder Lars Wingfors said, quote, the announcement marks the result of the final structured divestment process and is an important step in transforming Embracer into the future, with notable lower net debt and improved free cash flow. So obviously something must have been going on to make this happen when it comes to not making enough money. So he says, quote, after evaluating several options for Gearbox, I'm happy that we have reached a solution that is in the best interest of all stakeholders. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford added, quote, as a significant long-term Embracer Group shareholder, I believe in the strategy for the Embracer Group and am completely convinced that this transaction is the best possible scenario and an obvious net positive arrangement for Embracer Group, for Take-Two, and of course for Gearbox Entertainment. So there are rumors that Borderlands 4 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands 2 is being worked on by Gearbox at the moment. But was this a good move for Take-Two to buy out Gearbox? Burley, I'll start with you on this one. What do you think?
Well, Borderlands 4 is in development. They have announced that, so that one is in development. Well, Take-Two had some of the series. It makes sense for them. Have full control, get in there that they can make sure and monitor it and get it the way they want. Borderlands, especially with the movie coming later this year, I think it is. So it's like have that, and you can do some stuff, add some small stuff to Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's to help promote. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Carl, what do you think of this move? Do you think it was worth $460 million?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of seems like a high price, but maybe I'm not someone who likes Borderlands. I tried Borderlands 2 on Game Pass like many years ago, and it was not for me at all. I really didn't like the style of humor that was going on in it, and of course, like the guns and the type of gameplay just wasn't for me. So I don't know, like, how successful would Borderlands 4 be? Was Borderlands 3 was decent success, but not as
it was successful. Right? Yeah.
It was really successful from what I remember.
Yeah.
And they eventually it was successful enough where they were like, hey, you know what? Even though the Switch is lagging on hardware performance, we got to 2 years later make a Switch port.
Oh, they put it on Switch. Wow.
Yeah, they put it on Switch.
The Tiny Tina spin-off, which I don't know how well that did.
That one I don't think did as well.
Yeah.
Leah, did you play any of those on the Switch?
No, I did not. I'm more familiar with Take-Two than Gearbox. You know, Take-Two, they have big franchises, Civilization, BioShock, and this could be their kind of jump and see if they can make a new IP that sticks out, I guess. Who knows, maybe like a Civilization kind of based Borderlands or Brother in Arms or something like that. Because they, you know, I haven't heard any, like, besides XCOM, I guess, they have been kind of just riding the waves. It didn't seem like they're coming up with anything new recently. So we'll see. Maybe they have some cool projects. And, you know, by buying part of the team, it will move forward faster. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, so next up, let's talk about Sega, because there were some layoffs, and so especially on the Western side of things, Sega's been cutting jobs. So and the studios affected. Let's talk about that. So first off, Sega's cutting 240 jobs across UK studios, including Creative Assembly. So Sega Europe and Sega Hardlight will also be impacted, though the status of other UK studios like 2 Point Studios and Sports Interactive are currently unknown. We got that news. And then also the company of Heroes developer Relic Entertainment is splitting from Sega. So strategy genre specialist studio Relic Entertainment leaving Sega and going independent, it is announced. So these cuts, the 240 across UK based studios, so not affected any of the studios here in Japan, so mostly Western based. So Burley, I'll start with you again on this one. What's Sega's move here? I mean, when it comes to I'm gonna have to cut that sound off if that continues. So anyway, what do you think of Sega's move here when it comes to cutting unfortunately cutting jobs over on the UK side?
It friggin' sucks to see. It's how many stories with all these companies throughout this year, and we're only in the first 3 months. Just Sega held out as long as they could before they decided they had to cut the jobs. It sucks to see. I hope these people get new jobs quick and soon, so that way they're back in the industry working. But I'm not surprised at the same time at like some of these studios that they're making games for. These properties don't make a lot of money. So where are you gonna, like, it's shitty to lay people off. Don't get me wrong, but where are you gonna lay off? You're gonna lay off on the golden goose that is the Yakuza and Atlas side, or are you gonna lay off on the studios that are making projects that aren't producing as well for them?
Yeah, I think there's no way in hell that they're gonna slash jobs when it comes to Atlas. I mean, that's the bread and butter. That's the bread and butter, and especially out here in Japan, it's they're not gonna cut jobs, I think, in that sense. So, Carl, what do you think of the the layoffs, and then of course these companies going independent and all.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening everywhere, so I'm not surprised. Relic going independent's cool because I think that opens them up to be contracted out for some other real-time strategies franchises that might need someone to develop games for them, like StarCraft or Warcraft, that they don't really have those teams available anymore, so that would be a cool place to go. Creative Assembly, I know, does a lot of what they do, some support stuff. Did they go independent too, or is it just they had cuts?
They had cuts.
They just had cuts, right?
Had cuts.
Yeah. I mean, these are not the teams that are making the games that are selling lots of copies. Like, I get it. What are you gonna do at this point? This is how the industry is going.
Well, you see, like Relic Entertainment. I mean, they're not the biggest development studio, so I mean, going independent, kind of like what Bungie did, but then Bungie got bought back up again. So I mean, it's interesting. It's going to be a trend with these smaller development studios to probably jump ship and go independent if they think they could make more revenue, independently. So yeah, we shall see. But yeah, I don't know. But all right, next story. Let's talk about we're still talking about Sega here, and there is an event coming on Monday for Japan time, Monday at 8 p.m. and I think 7 a.m. on the East Coast, 4 a.m. Pacific time. Ryuga Gotoku, Like a Dragon, they're having a special event. So could we be getting Judgment 3? So yeah, I'm really interested. Of course, Burley calls it Kaito's Revenge, and I'll bet him 1,000 cases of spiritual opium it's not going to be called Kaito's Revenge. But I think we could possibly get the announcement for Judgment 3, because I know Kimura Takuya out here is working on another video game, and obviously what other video game would it be other than Judgment? So yeah, this could happen. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of this for you from Gaming Bolt. So yeah, taking to Twitter, now known as X, Ryuga Gotoku Studio recently announced a stream for this coming week on Monday, during which it will, quote, deliver a lot of information on the latest Ryuga Gotoku products, and quote, the studio also seems to be teasing an announcement during the stream, with the tweet adding, quote, also, there will be an important announcement. So Yokoyama Masayoshi, studio director at Ryuga Gotoku Studio, said earlier this year that the developer had, quote, a big announcement planned for 2024. So, yeah, I mean, could it be DLC for Like a Dragon 8? It possibly could be, but I'm thinking it's Judgment. It's probably going to be Judgment, guys. Burley, I'll start with you. What do you think? And don't. It's not going to be Kaito's Revenge. Other than that, what do you think?
Yeah. The other two things that I've been honestly thinking that we'll get is either some DLC for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or you know what? Kiryu has been getting a lot for spin-off games.
Kiryu. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why not Ichiban? Ichiban, give him a little spin-off game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But I wouldn't be surprised we get stuff for Judgment for the third game. But it's also, we do have the TV series that is in development, so maybe we get some news on that.
Yeah, I don't know, because I haven't seen anything out here in Japan when it comes to the TV series yet. So that could still be a little farther off, I think. But yeah, we'll see. Carl, what do you think? Are we getting Judgment 3?
Nah. Just see, it's not, at least they're not going to announce it here, probably.
Really?
I think I don't know. I just don't think they're going to have any like big announcement like that. Maybe like Yakuza Kiwami 3. Like if they're still if that game needs a remaster. I don't know how. It is pretty old, that one, right?
Yeah, well, that the rumors are going around that something about Kiwami could be coming. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Leah, what are your thoughts? Do you think we're going to get Judgment 3, or do you think it's going to be just more like DLC focus on Like a Dragon 8, or could it be Kiwami 3?
I feel on principle, don't believe anything you see on Monday. It's April's 1st. It's April's Fool. Even if they do announce anything, wait until Tuesday to see if it was a joke.
Yeah, that's
my advice for you. Don't trust anything on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you can trust on Monday. Expat and I may be doing live reactions on this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be Monday 8 p.m. my time here, so I've decided to do some live reactions to the event. So looking forward to it. So when Judgment 3 is announced, so.
Kaito's revenge. He may not be able to save Yagami, but he can get revenge.
It's not gonna be Kaito's revenge. Kaito is not the main character.
Well, he's about to become
Kaito Janaya Hontoni. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be about Yagami-san as usual. We shall see, but yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for whatever they have. I mean, whether it's more DLC or something related to Kiwami, because I mean Kiwami, that's like Carl, you were saying, that's pretty old now. So whether they remaster it or they just come out with a whole new Kiwami 3, and then you have Kiryu continue. So
let's see. Yakuza 3 is 2009 in Japan.
Yeah.
2010 in North America. Yeah, so that's an old PS3 game. So
yeah. So they should do something about that.
Is that one considered one of the better ones? I don't know. I don't know where the franchise sort of falters somewhere in the middle. I don't know.
You can leave that to interpretation by many. I don't know, but I don't know. I think Yakuza 0 is probably one of the best of all. That's just me. But
yeah, I know a lot of people love that one.
Yeah. So, all right. So now it's time for the topic of the show, guys. Stellar Blade. So let's go ahead and jump into our discussion of Stellar Blade. So we got the demo on Friday. So the demo is now available, and I will go ahead and let me go ahead and put this up. So, and you can check out the PlayStation blog where, of course, you can jump in and get the demo. If you are a PlayStation owner, unlike Carl, he's still got to jump in and get a PlayStation to be able to get this demo. But Burley, you and I, we played this demo. I played it yesterday. So I'll start with you, man. But, let me just say a couple things. And I'm going to play, and I want to give a shout out to one of our patrons, Fryman14, who gave us the gameplay demo footage that we're going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing this now. So let's go ahead and get it going. So the areas of this demo, I have to say, you're going into this city, on Earth. It's all abandoned. Aliens have taken over. And of course you get the drop ships here. Which it's interesting, kind of the visuals and all kind of reminded me of Warframe in the very beginning here with these drop ships. But going through the streets and all is very dark. I mean, in this demo, it's very, very dark. When I mean dark, I don't mean it in an emotional sense. I mean just the visuals. I mean, it was so hard to see walking around and running around in the corridors of the streets. But the boss battle at the end of the demo was fun. I died like twice before I finally beat him. But And I really love that the beta,
Mhm.
when it came to that style of combat. And then, of course, you have these codes that you have to open, like unlock doors and everything, and it's all in Greek letters, which was interesting. So, but anyway, Burley, your thoughts on Stellar Blade, the demo?
Ah, yes. Yeah, this demo, like I played this not directly on my PS5. I played this on the PS Portal and it ran
Oh wow,
great.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I played it
So,
on my PS5, so yeah,
yeah. Like I've come here because of the long weekend here. So when the demo launched, I was at my parents', so it was nice, easy, and I was nice to see that the demo wasn't giant. It was only about 16, 17 gigs. So it
hmm
was nice.
yeah,
It's not a too long of a download
hmm
and big install, but this game runs so smooth. The combat is a lot of fun. And once you start mastering the mechanics and using the beta sword technique and then the whole skill tree, and they recommend to make you buy the one where you bought when they're doing the unblockable attacks,
hmm
where you can do you do the guard and then you do the dodge button at the right time. You
yeah,
circle behind them and you just
yeah,
unwail.
yeah. That's what I was doing a lot. Yeah, and the parrying was really cool too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but this game, for those that don't know, is a Souls like.
yes,
This So this is a lot of stuff I've saw online from people, because I never played it, but saying, yeah, this is like Sekiro, and this is like a few of the other Souls like games.
yeah. It's like when I died, I would go back to the previous
Mm.
save point area. So
Yeah.
in these save points, it's interesting. You've got like it almost looks like a vending machine, and then you have like a
Hmm.
little like a camping chair that you sit down in, and then you have like a record player there where you can change the music from. I think there's only like two songs in the demo, but
Yeah, and the
you can
demo.
switch between those two songs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the camping area and all that. But like
Mhm.
you got all the item mechanics with your potions, the different types of potions you can buy, the
Mhm.
throwable items you can buy, like EMPs and stuff to use.
Mhm.
It's really cool. But I like that there is a difficulty select in this. So even if you're not the greatest at these kind of games,
Yeah.
you can put it to the easier difficulty to just experience the story, experience the funness of the combat,
That's what I
and
did.
just I did it. I did it too, because I'm playing on the
Yeah.
portal and I'm like,
Right.
I don't know how this is gonna run.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, this runs great. Because like I did, once you beat the demo, they have a second boss you can do, but
Yeah.
you play that at the normal difficulty.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
tried a
yes.
couple times, I got
Me
my
too.
ass kicked.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
I got no shame in admitting
Yeah.
that, but this game visually, like this section here is like very dark and not
Yeah.
the greatest visually.
Yeah.
But when you get later on the demo with the colors and stuff, when the colors start popping in and out in the areas you're in, it's
Mhm.
really interesting. The voice acting is very well done, so
Yeah. Yeah.
it has me interested on this game.
Mhm. Stranger Things. There you go. It looks like
Yeah.
it reminds me of Stranger Things. Yeah. And the music too, very very Japanese style. Yeah,
Oh,
when it comes to the music and all too. But yeah, Leah, your thoughts on the demo
I
here?
mean, I started the game. I'm like not very convinced, but by the end, it's a great game. I was
Mhm.
fully convinced that this game was great. Like they ease you in. The tutorial was really well done. There's, unlike Final Fantasy, there aren't like giant boxes of texts to explain how each thing rolls in.
Mhm.
I like the enemies; they're very scary.
Mhm.
I really like also the camping areas where it may feel a bit disconnect, but they use it to progress the story forward, so you know
Mhm.
a bit more of what happened previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really cool. I really liked it. So I was
Yeah.
surprised because I wasn't expecting to like it. So really good.
Yeah, and your save progress moves over if you purchase the title. Then you can
Oh, cool.
you can continue off where you left off in the demo. So yeah, Carl, your thoughts on Stellar Blade?
It looks cool. The animations are really cool. I like the really dramatic camera angles when they do like these action sequences here. It's very much like a movie with cool action set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
It looks a little like a game I'd really play because it's very much like just like a hack and slash, right? Like for the most part, like it's. Is there much of anything else? Is there like platforming at all?
There is some
There's a
climbing
bit, yeah.
elements, yeah, and like there's a portion of the city, excuse me, where there's bridges that are broken to pieces, and you have to jump from, pieces of the bridge to another, portion of the city and to another part of the building, and so you have to climb up and scale some of the walls of the building, and then there's like a bunch of staircases you have to, run up and everything. But
And you got
yeah,
swinging on poles and stuff.
swinging
There
on
is a
poles.
fair
Yeah,
there is
Mhm.
a fair amount of platforming in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
But it
and
is.
I will add there's still an RPG element to this because some attacks you can block, some you can't, some are like instant death, and you kind of need to like time your strategy so you don't die. Because like if they're yellow, you can't block them, you need to dodge. If it's blue, it's automatic, you need to
Yeah.
teleport to avoid it. So there's a like a strategy element and how uh, the abilities grow, and it kind of helps you to form a strategy as you move along. So that's also like a big element of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the kind of thing I would play on like like a Game Pass type service, PS Plus. But I'm not gonna buy this.
Yeah. Let me move forward a little bit. Let me move forward a little bit in this and
I like the
show.
design of this other girl, but sadly, it doesn't look like
Oh, Taki. Yeah,
she
Taki.
doesn't last very long.
Oh, Taki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I was
they
sorry,
do let
Barley,
you
good.
they do let you change Eve. Like if you go in the menu, you can change your hairstyle and stuff like that. So you can
Mhm.
go into the settings and change it. So it's showing like, and as you play through it, you get like armor slots and different stuff. So you can make her customizable and change her. And like Leah said, when you go to these campsites, you get the rest prompt. You think it's she's just gonna sit in the chair and fall asleep. No, you get past visions of the story, so you learn more stuff. So it's like it's
Yeah.
not only just going to these be like rest to refill my health and potions. It's no,
Mhm.
I can learn something more about what I'm doing, what about this mission and all that. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Does the main character have an interesting personality? Because I'm not seeing much of that.
It's hard to
Where's the
tell.
line?
It's hard to tell. You only get like one particular level of this game. I mean, and the interaction with the
The
drone
other here.
is interesting in a sense, but you don't really get to know too much about Eve in the demo, unfortunately. So
Hmm.
you
You
don't get
you
much of
you
her backstory or anything like that. So yeah.
you get one little quick scene, you get a little bit of something, but
Hmm.
like Expat said, it is hard to tell. That is
Hmm.
something like I'm hoping they do with it with her as the game goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope they explain why Adam is this little robot and Eve is just going forward, because it's like,
Yeah. Adam
why
and
you
Eve.
leave her alone in the middle of that? Seems so mean.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an Adam and an Eve. Oh,
Yeah. And then
Yes.
and
come
then
on.
and then like there's Aedos and everything, but then of course you have like Zion, and it kind of reminds me, okay, this is the Matrix, like a Zion, and then the ship that the the person that's with Eve that lands her down on the surface of that one particular area where you fight through. I mean, that ship even kind of reminds me of the ship in the Matrix, kind of. But yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it was fun. I mean, the combat's fun and all. I'm really looking forward to April, later in April when this game comes out. So I'm excited for it. But yeah, yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Bayonetta, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's Bayonetta, but a Souls like.
Yeah, that's not for me then.
I guess.
No. Once you start playing, you go up, you do the action to get into the battle, then it turns into a turn-based RPG.
Oh, okay, you got me. Sold me.
I think you need to try it, Carl, because
Yeah.
I know, like, in the beginning, I was also a bit like, oh, Adam and Eve and all that. But once you get into the game, it gets really interesting and it flows really well. Like, the sequences, like the little clips you do, like the transition between areas, everything is very smooth and nice, and it runs really well. It's very responsive, so I think
It's
it's a good game. It's
it's very
well
stylish. I'll
achieved.
give it that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the character of Eve was rendered from an actual Korean model actress. I think I
Yes.
don't know her name exactly, but
And then they exaggerated it.
yeah. But,
We know what they're doing. We know who they're trying to entice with this game.
okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's a fun demo. It took maybe Burley about, for me it took about an hour and a half to complete. So yeah, it's not too
It was.
long, yeah.
I think me it was like an hour 15 or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not a long demo, but it gives you enough of taste. And like Expat said, if you beat this demo, when you buy the main game, you can transfer and you get some stuff in. Whether that's the actual intro of the game or it just gives you some items, we won't know till a little bit sooner before the game comes out. But hey, this was a game that I was like, oh, this looks interesting, but I wasn't sure on. Now playing the demo hasn't fully sold me on the game, but now has me
Right.
more and more. Okay, I'm going to be paying attention more to this, and as this gets closer, has a good chance of me picking this up. Unless when I see the finished product, it's not looking anywhere near what the demo was.
Right. And one other thing about the demo too, there's aspects of the game where you do want to explore a lot, because like in the city you're usually moving forward, but then on the left and the right side there's like different uh, like a bar or something like that, or some other room that you go into, and then there'll be like a crate
Yeah.
there, and you can unlock those crates. Like I said, like there'll be some like dead soldiers or something laying around, and they might have a passcode on them when you
Yeah.
check their their inventory. And then once you take that, then you can unlock the crates, and inside of those crates are some interesting and useful items that you can use in the game. And then there are like power cells. There's portions of the demo where you'll go up to an abandoned car, and then you'll take out the cell from within the car, kind of like a futuristic engine type of thing. But those cells are useful within the game as well. So yeah, things like that. You go into
Yeah.
different corridors, and you'll find like crates laying around, and then there'll be just like boxes that you just use your blade and just rip them open, and there might be some like health items or something like that you can pick up. So go ahead, Leah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this may seem a lot, but the game really holds your hand and it guides you through, and I think that's like a stamp of good game design, because you never feel overwhelmed. You never feel like things aren't really explained to you or you don't understand the logic of things. So in terms of that, I think it's a really good RPG game, Souls-like, you never feel lost. So you
Yeah.
can
Mhm.
help a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the neat things I do like is in all these kind of games, you'll find these passwords. You'll go, and when you go to put them up in the gates,
Yeah.
to the gates, you can press triangle for the hint. And if
Yeah.
you already have the password, it'll show the password there, and you
Yeah.
can just type it in.
Yeah.
So makes it nice and easy. One thing I
Yeah.
didn't like until I learned you can change this in the settings is you're picking up items. They constantly want you to just hold the right R2 down.
Yeah.
You can go in settings to do auto pickup items. It's like,
Nice.
yeah, because
Oh, cool.
I got bored of doing that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't doing this all day just to pick up items. It's like if I walk over an item, I should auto pick it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're running around and then all the items on the ground R2, just trying to pick that up. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, you got 2 money. You got this. You got that.
Right.
No, hold an R2. I'm not taping down my R2 button.
Right.
Sorry, I got better things to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. It's a fun little demo. And Eve seems like an interesting character. We'll learn more about as the game comes out. So Stellar Blade. So those are our impressions of the demo. So please check it out. Yeah, like we said, it's about probably an hour and a half long. So it's not too long. So if you have a PS5, go and check it out. All right. So now it's time to talk about our picks of the week. So every week here on the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, we talk about games that are releasing from releases.com. So, and we give our picks of the week. And for this week, the week of April 1st. April is here, guys. Yeah, can't believe it. April 1st through the 7th. So, Burley, I think you are up first this week.
Yeah.
So, what is your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is Anonymous Hacker Simulator. Dive into enthralling digital realm where each keystroke is a potential key to clandestine revelations. Start your expedition from the seclusion of your own concealed apartment, armed with the suite of authentic streamlight commands, including nmap, harvester, aircrack, hipping, burp, and among others.
Vladimir Putin. That's great.
So, yeah, it's coming to PC Tuesday, April 2nd. But it's like, yeah, this is cool. You're gonna do some hacking.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. You can learn some of the technical commands that people do use for hacking and just general day-to-day stuff. Some of these technical Linux commands.
That's cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think I am up next. So yes. Tengoku Struggle Stray Side. So it comes out on April 4th for the Switch. So it is the year 20 of the Reiwa era. Though an agreement between the human realm and the hell realm, Asakusa was transformed into a tourist attraction where the living can meet the dead. One day, the spider's thread was dropped from heaven down into hell, allowing many of hell's prisoners to escape. King Enma thus orders his novice hell guardian daughter Rin to capture the escapees, along with Goemon, Ishikawa, and a few other trustworthy prisoners. So anyway, visual novel, so adventure, comes out on April 4th for the Switch. So yeah, interesting. Yeah. So in this little trailer here, you get a lot of the character introductions here. So a lot of different characters.
Was that a squirrel or a dog?
Probably a cross between, Burley.
All of the above.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Buy the game to find out.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. Good stuff. So, visual
Who will you
novels.
date? That's the question.
Yeah, really.
Obviously, the squirrel dog. Haven't you played Baldur's Gate 3?
So, kind of like a persona in a visual novel type of setting. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right. So, Leah, I think you are next. Yes. What do you have for us?
I'm Ness. The Gap comes out on the Switch also on April 4th. Driven by a rare neurological illness plaguing his family, Joshua has to face the innermost depths of his past, moments both beautiful and painful. Exploring parallel realities through deja vu seems to be the only way he can recover his memories and salvage his life. So this game is by an independent developer. It comes out on Switch, and I thought it was really cool because it is a mix of media. You have the text floating around, and then you have like this that you see right now, the deja vus, where you can like click on the fireplace and then it shows that it's like that because the files are burned, and you kind of are piecing the puzzle together of kind of what driven him and his family apart, because you don't know at the beginning, so you are kind of exploring. And it's a short game, and it's very interesting. It feels really compelling to kind of unravel the mystery of what happened to Joshua and why his wife and kids, you know, left him in a way because he is currently alone in his apartment.
Mm. Mm.
Not the Gap.
All right. And it's out on PS5, PS4, Xbox as well. So coming out on
Yes,
the Switch.
on Switch.
Carl, you're up next. Go for it.
I picked Sons of Valhalla. This is coming April 5th to PC only for now. The other Switch and Xbox are, it looks like they're announced, but they don't have a date yet. That's later. Sons of Valhalla is a strategy and base building game set in the Viking Age. Build fortresses and lay siege to enemy strongholds, gather warriors and board longboats, and engage in personal combat as you raid and conquer across England. Yeah, I like as soon as I was looking for a game to pick and watching a bunch of trailers, and once I played this trailer and it was like 30 seconds into it, I'm like, yes, this is the one.
Pillagination. Yeah.
I just love this art style. When I saw it was like building stuff, I was like, this is going to be like typical. But no, actually, it's like side scrolling and building, which is not typical.
Yeah.
And then it looks like you have these cool battles. You command a bunch of units and all these different like siege weapons and stuff. It
and
looks really
pet
neat.
animals.
Yeah, and you pet a dog. Best game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I didn't know this existed. I just picked it, but I legit would want to actually play this if I had the time. But it looks pretty cool.
When you're not playing Unicorn Overlord, right? Yeah.
I know, yeah. Which I'm barely getting a lot of time into,
Yeah.
Oh, I turned on that Sandland demo for like 5-10 minutes. I randomly I didn't have some time to throw something on, and I tried that too. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a good grasp of what it was, but it's it seems interesting enough. That's the one that the Akira Toriyama based anime. Well, actually, manga. There's an anime out now.
Manga.
Yeah, but the anime just came out, I think, or it's out soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's one to check out too, but that's not until April. So.
Yep. All right. So next up is our PlayStation Plus Essential lineup. It actually dropped a little bit early. So Burley, what do we got for PS Plus Essential for April?
So yes, it's a very interesting month. Let's just say that. We have Immortals of Avium on PS5. That came out last year. I ended up getting it as a Christmas gift because I was like, I'll try this game out as a chance because I've got it real cheap. It's interesting. First-person magic shooter. They do try and make the story trying to because they get some known actual actors in this, but the dialogue that is written is bad and cheesy, and not like that good 80s bad action films where it's cheesy as all hell but you're laughing. Some of this you're just like rolling your eyes as you're hearing it. But the gameplay from what I did play was fun. I do need to go and finish it. Minecraft Legends for PS4 and PS5. So this I actually have played through Game Pass when it initially launched, how many years ago, is a lot.
Years.
Well,
I think it was it last year? I think it was.
I think it was 2 years. Was it 2 years ago? I
1 or 2. Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
flies. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll check.
yeah.
Yeah.
But your Minecraft live action strategy, what's not to love?
Yeah, the 2023. Yeah.
Okay. And we also have Skull, the Hero Slayer for PS4. This one I have not played, but it's a 2D action platformer, but a roguelike feature. So I'll definitely give this a try.
Cool. Don't know that one.
But yeah, it's not a bad month, I would say. You're getting different titles, different variety.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now,
Check
Morse
it out.
Babium is a good thing to put on a service like this because a lot of people skipped it. It didn't sell at all, but apparently it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it is fun from what I played. I played about like 4 hours in, and like you do like it is a level based game, but you have in these levels are quite big, and you have side stuff. If you're willing to sit and explore, you can find stuff, and then there are trials and submissions and stuff in there, and the different magic, and then getting your different, because it's got the RPG elements of if I equip this magic thing here, it boosts my green magic spells, or this one boosts my blue spell. So you play around with with the different spells and which ones you like, and boosting them.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting that this lineup kind of leaked a little bit early, but
Yeah.
So that's our PS Plus lineup for the month of April coming up next week. So Burley, what days can you start to download these games from next week?
I think it is Wednesday, but give me 2 seconds. I literally just closed the page.
Usually it's
Tuesday,
Wednesday or Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, April 2nd. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Good
you
stuff.
still have chance right now to get this current month's game. So, grab them while you can.
Yep. Awesome. All right. So, of course, here on the Arena Productions, we are not only a gaming channel, but we are also an entertainment and pop culture related channel. And so it's time to talk about programming notes for the Arena Productions. So our recent and upcoming content. So obviously upcoming, we're going to be doing the Fallout series, recap and reviews of the episodes of Fallout, and that's going to be coming soon. Star Trek Discovery is going to be starting this coming week. The final season, I think April 4th, is the first 2 episodes. So I'm going to be doing recap and review episodes of that. And the recent drops that we've had. So I did a preview of season 2 of House of the Dragon. So we got the black and the green trailers. So I did a breakdown of those 2 trailers, and we're really excited for June because House of the Dragon is coming back. The Targaryen Civil War is going to begin. What are your guys' thoughts on the upcoming season 2? Leah, are you excited for House of the Dragon season 2?
Not gonna lie, haven't seen season 1 yet.
No, you gotta watch it.
Maybe I will. Maybe, June there's still time, so I will probably catch up to watch the season 2 as it comes along.
Yeah, season 1 is amazing. So Viserys is the actor who plays Viserys is just amazing in that season. But season 2 is going to be exciting, and we get the Wall. We're going back to the Wall. We're going back to Winterfell in season 2. So I show some of the images. There is an image of them on the wall. So yeah, it's gonna
I
be
mean,
cool.
that
Yeah,
was the best part of Game of Thrones was the dragons and the part with the wall and the wildlings and all of that. That was the most interesting, at least to me. So that's cool.
yeah. Burley, excited for season 2?
Oh yes. Remember, the North remembers.
North remembers. Yeah, Carl, you excited for season 2?
I am. I'm just not watching these previews and stuff because I'm already sold on this type of thing. I don't really need to watch.
Yeah, but of
these.
course you watch my recaps and reviews, and of course, yes. So yeah, good stuff.
Aha.
Say yes,
Ah,
Carl.
yes,
Say
thank
yes.
you. Say yes, Carl. Yeah.
Am
All
I?
right,
Am I
next.
under oath?
Yes, you are under oath, Carl. Of course.
You are
Yes,
now
you are a
under
part of
oath.
the Arena Productions. All right, next up, I also did Shogun. So the episode, I think it's episode 6. Yeah. So Ochiba's power play. So Ochiba is the real life Yodogimi, or her nickname was Cha Cha. So she was a very influential person in the year 1600. Of course, she was the consort of Toyotomi Hideyoshi in real life, and she bore him a son, Toyotomi Hideyori, and of course, yes, the historical conflict between the Toyotomi and the Tokugawa is portrayed here in the Shogun series, and Yodogimi, of course, she was a very influential piece of the power board. Another famous Japanese historical female character from about 500 years before, Hojo Masako. I compare her to Hojo Masako. So yeah, Ochiba, yeah, this is kind of like her power play in this episode. So I did a recap and review of Shogun episode 6. So please check that out. Very good stuff. Yeah, so Ochiba's power play. And also, when it comes to the Star Wars side of things, Star Wars The Bad Batch. So season 3, episode 9, my breakdown of that episode. And obviously, M counts are a big part of the series now, you know, when it comes to midi-chlorians and whether or not Omega has a high M count or not. So yeah, my breakdown, recap, and review of the episode comes out, and Asajj Ventress is back. Yes, so she was of course a bounty hunter.
Oh,
So
she's got hair now. Look at that.
she's got hair now. Yeah. Well, she's changed. So yeah, check out that recap and review episode. So good stuff.
So being bald was a choice before?
Yeah, I guess.
It's an odd.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. They really don't go in. They really don't go into that, Carl. But
No,
yeah,
they don't.
probably, yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is the final season, and it's now winding down. We're in the second half, so yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah. And then on the Marvel side, our episode 3 recap of X-Men 97. Burley and I, we did a recap of episode 3, so please go and check that out. Yeah, Jean Grey, Cyclops, and their son, and all of that fun stuff. So Burley, yeah. That
Definitely go check that out. Especially if you have not, you're an X-Men fan of the 90s series, please watch X-Men 97. It's the best thing of Marvel since, I don't know, since like Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm. Carl, do you second that?
Is it the best thing since Endgame? I don't know. I think it's really great. I like a lot of the Marvel content that's come since then. So
yeah,
it's a little baby Cable there.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. So recap of episode 3. So yeah, please go and check that out. And then back on the gaming side, coming this April, the Digital Dojo, Japan's monthly gaming news beat. So I will be doing episodes for the Digital Dojo. So it's my new show that's coming out here on the Arena Productions. So all of the Japanese gaming beat. So news stories from video games and game development out here in Japan. So I'm excited to bring that to you. Starting in April, more details will be coming later, whether it's going to be a monthly or a weekly show. So pretty soon I will have more details on that. But the Digital Dojo coming soon to the Arena Productions and also to our Patreon. So please check that out when it arrives. Be arriving sometime probably in mid-April. So yeah, really excited for it. So yes, good stuff. So those are our programming notes. And like I said, next week we'll be starting Discovery Season 5 for the final season. I'll be doing recap and reviews of that. And then, of course, the second week of April, Fallout starts. So really excited for that as well. So yeah. And then, of course, in June, House of the Dragon Season 2 starts. So weekly reviews of that. So great stuff. All right. Yeah.
Was Lower Deck Season 5 announced?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The next season will be coming out probably in August. So yeah, Discovery is going to end, and then after that will be Prodigy. Actually, what's interesting about Prodigy is it dropped early. They didn't want it to drop as soon as it did, but it did. Yeah, Prodigy's out, and then after that is Lower Decks. So
Next year, Strange New Worlds Season 3.
probably February we're gonna get the next season. I'm thinking, because they finished filming, but now it's all the CGI and everything else. So
Editing and all that.
Editing, yeah. So it's gonna take time. It'll probably be out early 2025. I would be surprised if it comes out late this year. I would love for that, but I'm expecting early next year. So probably around February, I'd say January, February. So, all right. So now let's talk about the games we will be playing or streaming this coming week. So I'm thinking of going back to Cyberpunk, actually. Yeah, playing some more of Cyberpunk, because I want to get to the Phantom Liberty portion of the game. So get back to Cyberpunk a little bit. So that's me. So, Leah, what about you? What are you going to be playing this upcoming week?
I mean, I'm gonna carry on my two little games, Inscription and The Last Campfire, wrap them up, and we'll see from there. Not sure yet.
I see. Cool. All right. Burley, how about you? What are you going to be playing or streaming this coming week?
Be streaming some more FF7 Rebirth, because as much as I've enjoyed the game, I do want to get to the ending. I want to see where this one ends off and all that. But also be playing some Dragon's Dogma 2 on my off time, and hopefully get you guys that extra take this week.
Nice. Yes, of course, the extra takes. Yes. Go up to our Patreon in early access and for members here on the YouTube channel. And then, of course, go to the free feeds later on. So, stuff. Carl, how about you?
What are you going to be doing?
Stellar Blade?
Yeah. Get that demo. Get that PS5 finally.
$500 to play a Stellar Blade demo.
Yeah, that's not that much. Yeah, come on, man.
All righty. He said he admitted it. We got the video evidence here.
No. You guys don't get excited. He's going to play Princess Peach. That's his plan for this week.
Demo.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited to keep playing Unicorn Overlord. Okay. Let me enjoy my game.
Well.
All right. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for coming into the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, where we record live here on YouTube on the Saturdays, 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and out here in Japan, Sundays, 6 a.m. Japan Standard Time, where I am out here. So I want to thank all of you, wherever you are, watching or listening later on in audio format. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you all. So now it's time for our indie recording artist spotlight that we do every week. So we have an indie recording artist with music and an outro to end the show. So this week's spotlight is on Turpak. Since being introduced to music as a child, Turpak has constantly grown and crystallized his unique style and sound. He has extensive experience in creating inspiring cinematic music for all kinds of visual media. So Turpak's highly memorable works are always led by melody and are created with taste and great attention to detail. From his album titled Keep Exploring, and the song is called Exceptional. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 168. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burley of Burleyman Gaming, Turn-Based Carl, and Leah the Hatless. We hope to catch you in the next one. So next Saturday for episode 169, everyone. So thank you so much, and have a great week of gaming, and enjoy the outro. Peace.